Welcome to Wellness Wednesday, where faith in Jesus fuels your healing.
There's a moment in Luke 8 that helps us understand how Jesus healed. A woman who's been bleeding for 12 years slips through the crowd, reaches out, and touches the edge of Jesus' cloak. 12 years of suffering stops in an instant. And Jesus stops too. "Who touched me?" Peter nearly laughs. "Lord, look around. Everyone is touching you." But Jesus says no. "I felt power go out from me." Countless people made contact with Jesus that day. One was healed, and Jesus felt the power leave before he knew where it went. So what made her touch different? Consider the electricity in your walls. It's live right now, always on, always waiting. But nothing happens until you plug an appliance into the socket. Then power flows. Faith is you plugging prongs into a socket. Now watch how faith in Jesus connects us to Jesus. Luke 6:19. Crowds are trying to touch Jesus because power was coming from him and healing them all. That's the live source. Always on. And they knew Jesus carried God's power. Mark 6:56. Everywhere he goes, the sick beg to touch even the edge of his cloak, and all who touch it are healed. Begging is faith out loud. Their prongs were aimed at the socket, their fingers reaching and touching him. Luke 8, the woman. She plugged in, power flowed, and Jesus felt the draw. "Daughter, your faith has healed you." And Nazareth. Mark says that in his own hometown, Jesus could do few miracles, and he marveled at their unbelief. The power was present. The socket was live. A whole town stood beside it with everything unplugged. But the story keeps going after Jesus ascends. Book of Acts. The sick line the streets of Jerusalem, hoping Peter's shadow might fall on them. And they're healed. Handkerchiefs that touched Paul healed the sick in cities Paul never entered. Had Peter and Paul become power sources themselves? Peter answered that one. "Why do you stare at us, as if by our own power we made this man walk?" They were extension cords. Plugged into the source, a cord carries live current from a remote power source. Nobody thanks the extension cord. You thank the one paying the power bill. And Jesus is the one who paid. Not sure this is how faith in Jesus works? Hear his own words. "If you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you." Abiding is getting plugged into Jesus. The power is still live. The socket is still hot. Is your faith in the socket? Do you need an extension cord? Ask for someone with God's faith to hook you up to Jesus.